Hello viewers and welcome to more action on Project Cars. This was just a request by Jerry Joe. He mentioned that he was playing Formula B in the rain at Spa. Well, I'm not doing the rain at the moment because I'm doing the dry weather because it simply runs better and I enjoy it more. But racing against the AI, had two restarts where I came together with the AI and then this race. So never actually completed a lap, obviously. So this is my first time racing Formula B, well, in a while. I think first time racing Formula B probably on Spa. The field of view is slightly off, but I really didn't want to move my, well, I say field of view is off, my seat position's probably slightly off, but didn't want to move it around too much because it's set for some of the other cars. And it's handy when you have it set. So having said that, my view is slightly different to what you see at home. This is obviously just on top of my head, so my wheel is sort of in alignment with the front of the car, so it actually looks a fair bit more comfortable. The view I use here is quite deep in the car compared to what a lot of people run. I do like the whole buried in the cockpit style view. These first two laps won't be very stellar from me. Obviously you've got to get your tyres up to temperature, and I find the AI always seem to be quicker off the first lap in terms of their tyres. They don't seem to suffer any loss of grip, but I find it takes me a while to get that going. And generally by the end of this race it's good because, you know, I thought I could run a few runs and get some consistent speed up and then win some races, or I could just again like to show some learning while I'm racing, adds a bit more to the video. So between lap 1 that we're on now, of course, and lap 5, you'll see a radical improvement in my speed as I just push it a bit harder, get tyres up to temperature, and just explore more speed. So braking into the chicane at the end of the lap, the bus stop chicane as it were, it was tricky. Picking that braking point and turning in, how much speed you can carry into it. Really, there's more speed to be lost than gained in that section by getting it wrong. So it's just important that you make the corner. Again here, braking too late, didn't have my braking point, so next time I'll learn that. One thing is, if you're not used to a lot of racing games, is everything is about just trying experiments with these games. If you're braking too late, brake a bit earlier, try a different gear. There's lots of little things you can do to find speed, and sometimes when you look at the best, you might think you're doing perfect laps, but the difference between you and the best players in the world is simply a gear change. They're simply using a different gear and they get that drive, and suddenly they're saving half a second a lap. So it's really learning more about that, and you improve it bit by bit, and then every corner is a new learning experience because you're going quicker than you were before, and you can change gear earlier, take higher gears and everything else. So obviously I know Spa like the back of my hand, but it's different in every car you drive all the time. Always exploring it. Running here about 90 frames per second. I do like it running smoothly, so I have sacrificed graphical detail for frame rate. Those that are interested, my PC is powered by two GTX 780s. Yeah, the game is running better than it's ever run before. I haven't upgraded to Windows 10 yet, so probably will do in the next couple of weeks. Flat through this section. Antonio Liuzzi with Eddie Irvine had a big crash there many years ago, straight into that wall there, flat out. Goodness me, it's awful. Straight buried by the tyres. That wasn't Antonio Liuzzi, was it? Who was it? Another Italian driver. And he also had a crash at Hockenheim. Who can remember that as well when he came back? God, I've forgotten his name now. Come back to me if you're watching. Not Liuzzi, someone else. I met Liuzzi. I met him at the GT Academy actually last year. Really nice chap actually. Good to see him and Johnny Herbert helping out with these new drivers. It's amazing how many of these drivers themselves have had big accidents along the way, and of course Johnny had his massive accident at Brands Hatch many years ago, smashing his legs. I've been saying that a few of the drivers have, even some of the team bosses. I mean, Eddie Jordan had 2 broken legs from a crash when he was racing in some Formula 3 or something, whatever it was. Major accident for him. Even Bernie Ecclestone had a big crash where he ended up, I think, in a car park somewhere. So for people in F1 that might not necessarily be drivers you know that have had big accidents. Anyway, I'm floating off. Project Cars, I'm really enjoying it, you know. Running well on the PC here. No, I don't get the chance to try every single PC game. I mean, there's loads I'd like to try. I'd like to have put some time into Game Stock Car. I'd like to have put some time into iRacing. I'd like to have put more time into, Euro Truck, you know, stuff like that for a cruise now and again. But there just isn't the time, unfortunately. And when you're jumping from game to game, video to video, day to day, YouTube is a machine at the moment that constantly requires more feeding, and every time a video is done, it's history the next day. You know, nobody's watching it 2 days later. So whether you drive well or you don't, frankly, but on a personal front, I like to put in a solid experience and improve. Now, my lap times are starting to improve now. I'm understanding, where are we on lap 3? So understanding much better this lap, how to place the car, more speed, and feeling more confident. And you know, this is where a challenge comes, because I'm braking now. I'm going faster than I was before, so I'm struggling a bit with my braking point. Broke harder than usual and ended up oversteering and compromising my exit on that final chicane. We call it the bus stop. It's not the bus stop anymore. That's long gone now. I preferred the old bus stop to the new chicane, but it does work well for overtaking. So going around the corner, obviously I learned how to brake there, hook up that. You can go flat easily through Eau Rouge. You couldn't years ago, you can now. Challenge it was. Always oversteer, try and keep it along that line on the inside, really opens out the exit, don't even need to use the curbs there. And now we have more speed all the way down the straight. So I didn't even need to use all the racetrack. You know, obviously we could run this car with a lot less downforce, be harder to drive and a lot quicker down these straights. So again, that's finding a balance. At the top of the hill here, trying to get it on the apex, a little bit of curb on the power, much quicker you can see now. I'm using a bit of curb on the inside, shifting up before I've exited the corner, down the hill, braking early, getting down those gears, keeping the car on the inside, waiting for the corner to open up before getting on the power, use that curb, that's alright. And again here, get the car in early, a bit too early there, but either way, lost a few miles per hour. Get the idea. Down into Pouhon. Now I was lifting on the first couple of laps, but not now, it's just a very slight lift, but loads of speed in the car, so I stayed in 6th gear all the way around, and that really closed me up on the AI cars ahead. Taking the first section here and 4th, getting in nice and early, keeping it tight. 3rd for this next section on the power, more speed to find there, wasn't needing to use all the racetrack. Again, I'm doing this in 3rd, helping with the wheel spin, carrying speed, using that exit curve as well, seems to be working for me. And then flat, right up to the end of the lap. So improving bit by bit every time. If I did lots and lots of laps, you'd find lots and lots of lap time and how to maximise lap time. And you look at the iRacing guys, I mean, they're on iRacing all the time, and they're always discovering tenths of lap time as we go into the final chicane again. Much better that time, so I'm oversteering into the corner because I realised the car was understeering a little bit before, so trying to find the correct braking point is important there. Not braking too late this time, getting it in a little bit later than I would like though. You really want to connect with a white line on the inside and then go down here back into Eau Rouge. Great views, really nice views, there's a nice hue to it, the lighting is great. Really nice on the PC. I look forward to when we have VR headsets and we can really enjoy all of this in high quality VR. I think that the first VRs that are going to come out are going to be fun but somewhat limited in terms of pixels, and I think it's going to be a good few years before we can really maximise it and have, say, 4 to 8K per eye. But as I understand it, we see our actual eyes seeing, I think it's 16K per eye is what our actual eyes see, so relative to pixels. So probably a good 30 years before we get VR that's anything close to reality. But either way, it's good to see those developments next year, and I hope to be covering some of them on the channel. Much quicker through Pouhon this time, nearly flat, and that gave me all the speed I needed to get past one of the AI cars. So you can see how much time I've gained on them throughout the race. Really sort of worked to improve my lap times and just try and expand speed in every corner. And now I know this guy I'm going past. This is a bit risky. I don't know if he's going to turn in on me. I keep it on the white line on the inside. That's as tight as I can make it. Got a bit of track position. He's behind me now. So I'm just trying to, moving around a lot actually, but I'm going to brake quite late. Braking later than usual, and I can see he's on the inside, and he just decides to go over the curb and hit me. So I clatter the curb now to try and stay on the racetrack. And that's it, unfortunately, for this run. AI done me. Dirty move. But as ever, we go around the final corner. And there'll be more Project Cars action. Let me know what cars, tracks you'd like to see. And there'll be more from me very soon.